Imagine feeling trapped by your own doubts, endlessly replaying stories of failure and insecurity in your mind. What if the key to breaking free wasn't found outside, but deep within yourself? This isn't just a motivational cliché. It's a profound Stoic truth about unlocking the unstoppable power lying dormant inside each of us. In this journey, the real pressure you feel, the nagging voice urging change, is not an enemy, but a signal, a call to rewrite the internal narrative that has held you hostage. Confidence isn't magic. It's a muscle built by facing small battles, embracing mistakes, not as judgment, but as stepping stones. The true battle is against your inner critic, the relentless storyteller of not enough. Stoicism teaches us that pain and insecurity don't stem from events themselves, but from how we interpret them. When you strip away the corrosive self-judgment, discipline and authenticity rise to the surface, paving the way for a deep, transformative confidence that no external validation can shake. This story is about slowing down to honor your unique path, rejecting toxic comparisons, and realigning your actions with your true self. When you walk this path, you don't just become confident, you become unstoppable. By embracing your story fully, with integrity and patience, you unlock a power that is as liberating as it is enduring. So, what if today is the day you stop running from your own potential and start living it instead? The power within is waiting. Are you ready to become unstoppable? If this is making sense to you so far, please take a moment to like this video and consider sharing it with someone who might benefit from this perspective. Your support helps this message reach those who need it. We began this journey by acknowledging the silent war we often wage within ourselves, a war fueled by doubt, insecurity, and the relentless narrative of not enough. We explored how the very pressure you feel isn't an adversary, but a powerful signal, a summons to rewrite your internal script and reclaim the dormant power within. Confidence, we established, isn't some mystical gift. It's a muscle, meticulously built through consistent, deliberate practice. Facing small battles, embracing mistakes not as marks of failure, but as essential stepping stones on your unique path. The true conflict, as the Stoics teach, isn't with the world outside, but with the inner critic, that tireless storyteller dictating narratives of limitation. Pain and insecurity, they remind us, rarely spring from events themselves, but from the interpretations we overlay upon them. When we strip away that corrosive self-judgment, when we silence the noise of external validation, what emerges is a powerful, intrinsic blend of discipline and authenticity. This is the bedrock of a deep, transformative confidence that no external force can shake. It's about slowing down to honor your unique journey, rejecting the toxic allure of comparison, and meticulously realigning every action with your deepest, truest self. On this path, you don't merely become confident, you transcend to become truly unstoppable. But how, you might ask, does one actively cultivate this unstoppable force? How do we move beyond intellectual understanding to embodied practice, where these Stoic truths become the very fabric of our being? The answer lies in a series of profound shifts in perspective, in practice, and in the very nature of our engagement with life itself. Hashtag, the foundation, mastering your inner kingdom, the dichotomy of control. The first and perhaps most liberating Stoic principle is the dichotomy of control. Epictetus, a former slave who became a celebrated Stoic philosopher, distilled this wisdom with startling clarity. Some things are within our control, and some things are not. This isn't a simplistic division. It's a radical call to action. Within our control are our opinions, our impulses, our desires, our aversions. In short, everything that is our own doing. Outside our control are our bodies, our possessions, our reputations, and public office. In short, everything that is not our own doing. Consider this in the context of modern life. We constantly fret over things entirely outside our sphere of influence. We worry about a colleague's opinion of our work, the outcome of a job interview, the traffic on our commute, the global economy, or even just what someone might post about us online. Each of these external factors becomes a potential source of anxiety, a drain on our mental and emotional energy, and a constant threat to our sense of confidence. But what if we could systematically identify these external anxieties and with conscious effort, release our grip on them? Imagine the mental space that would open up, the emotional energy that would be conserved. The Stoics teach us that true freedom and, by extension, true confidence begins when we wholeheartedly embrace this distinction. Take the example of a job interview. Many candidates spend days agonizing over the potential questions, rehearsing perfect answers, and, most destructively, fixating on the outcome, whether they'll get the job. This fixation on an external, uncontrollable outcome breeds immense anxiety. The Stoic approach, however, shifts the focus entirely. What is within your control? Your preparation, your effort, your attitude, your integrity, your articulation of your skills, your presence in the room. You can choose to be well rested, to research the company thoroughly, to formulate thoughtful questions, to present yourself with honesty and poise. The decision of whether you get the job, however, lies with the hiring committee. It's an external. By focusing all your energy on what you can control, your internal preparation and presentation, you maximize your chances while simultaneously inoculating yourself against the debilitating fear of rejection. If the outcome isn't what you hoped, you know you gave your best, and that is where your self-worth truly resides, unblemished by external decisions. This is the bedrock of becoming unstoppable. Understanding that your power doesn't come from manipulating the world to your will, but from mastering your response to it. When you stop wasting precious mental energy on the uncontrollable, you free up immense power for what you can shape: your character, your effort, your integrity. This profound shift is where your strength truly lies, building an unshakable sense of self-efficacy that is independent of external validation or circumstance. It's the ultimate confidence booster because it places the source of your confidence firmly and irrevocably within yourself. Forging resilience, embracing discomfort and imperfection, premeditatio malorum, and voluntary hardship. The premise eloquently stated that confidence isn't magic. It's a muscle built by facing small battles. How do we actively engage in these battles, especially in a world that often prioritizes comfort and immediate gratification? Here, Stoicism offers two potent practices: premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils, and the embrace of voluntary hardship. Our modern instincts often push us to avoid anything unpleasant. We seek instant solutions, smooth experiences, and a life devoid of friction. But it's precisely in friction that muscles grow. The Stoics understood that hiding from potential difficulties only makes us more fragile when they inevitably arise. Premeditatio malorum isn't about wallowing in negativity or manifesting bad outcomes. Quite the opposite. It's a rational, proactive mental exercise where you calmly contemplate potential challenges, setbacks, and even worst-case scenarios. Imagine you're about to launch a new project at work. Instead of just visualizing success, take a moment to consider, what if the client rejects the idea? What if a key team member leaves? What if I make a significant error? The purpose isn't to dwell in fear, but to mentally prepare and emotionally detach. By confronting these possibilities in advance, you achieve several things. 1. You reduce the shock value. When a setback does occur, it's less jarring because you've already considered it. 2. You strategize solutions. Thinking through potential problems allows you to develop contingency plans, making you more adaptable and effective. You realize resilience. Often, the worst case isn't as catastrophic as our unexamined fears make it out to be. You realize you can cope, even if things don't go perfectly. This practice builds an incredible inner fortitude. It shows you that you are capable of handling adversity, stripping away the fear of the unknown that so often paralyzes us. It turns potential obstacles into mental drills, making you more robust and less susceptible to panic. Coupled with premeditatio malorum is the deliberate embrace of voluntary hardship. This isn't about seeking out suffering, but about intentionally stepping outside your comfort zone and engaging with discomfort in small, manageable ways. In our cushioned lives, this might mean taking the stairs instead of the elevator, engaging in a difficult conversation you've been avoiding, trying a new skill that makes you feel awkward, or even just foregoing a minor pleasure for a day. Think of it as exposure therapy for the soul. Every time you willingly choose discomfort, whether it's the physical strain of exercise, the mental stretch of learning something new, or the emotional courage to admit a mistake, you send a powerful message to your subconscious. I can handle this. I am strong. I am capable. Each small act of courage strengthens that confidence muscle. It's in these repeated acts of self-challenge that genuine self-belief takes root and flourishes. You discover the boundaries of your perceived limitations and then push right through them, one small, intentional step at a time. This steady accumulation of proving yourself to yourself is what erodes fear and builds an undeniable sense of being unstoppable. The art of unshakable acceptance, amor fati. To be truly unstoppable is not to command that life unfolds exactly as you wish, but to possess an inner strength so profound that you can thrive no matter how life unfolds. This brings us to one of the most radical and liberating Stoic concepts, amor fati, the love of fate. This is often misunderstood as passive resignation, an indifferent shrug in the face of adversity. But true amor fati is anything but passive. It's an active, powerful embrace of everything that happens, not just the good, but also the challenging, the unexpected, the seemingly unfortunate. It's seeing every event, every triumph, every setback, every disappointment, every delay as a necessary thread in the tapestry of your life, an indispensable ingredient for your growth and transformation. Marcus Aurelius, emperor and philosopher, captured this essence. A blazing fire makes flame and brightness out of everything thrown in. Just as a fire consumes and transforms fuel into energy, the Stoic practicing amor fati actively transforms obstacles and difficulties into opportunities for growth, for practicing virtue, for deeper understanding. Consider a significant setback in your life, a project failing, a relationship ending, a health scare. Our natural inclination is often to resist, to complain, to wish things were different, to blame. This resistance, however, is a profound source of suffering. It pits our will against the current of reality, a battle we can never truly win. Amor Fati invites us to cease this resistance. It asks us to look at the situation, not as an unfortunate deviation, but as a crucial part of our story, a moment pregnant with lessons and opportunities for developing resilience, patience, or wisdom. For example, imagine your flight is unexpectedly delayed for hours, throwing off your carefully planned schedule. The typical response is frustration, anger, and a sense of victimhood. The Amor Fati practitioner, however, wouldn't just accept it with a sigh. They would actively embrace it. This delay is part of my experience today. What can I make of this moment? Can I use this time to read, to reflect, to connect with someone, to practice patience, to write a grateful email? This isn't pretending to be happy about the delay. It's finding utility and meaning within the reality of the situation. It's a powerful act of agency. When you consistently practice Amor Fati, you begin to dismantle the internal structures of bitterness, resentment, and the constant striving for an ideal that never quite aligns with reality. You stop being a victim of circumstance and become an active participant in shaping your response to it. This radical acceptance breeds a deep, quiet confidence, a certainty that you possess the inner resources to handle anything life throws at you, and not just handle it, but to grow from it. This is a profound form of liberation, making you unshakable in the face of an unpredictable world, because you are no longer at war with reality. You are, instead, dancing with it, living your virtues, the pillars of authentic confidence. The Stoics didn't just offer techniques. They provided a moral framework for living, grounded in the four cardinal virtues: wisdom, courage, temperance, and justice. These aren't abstract ideals. They are practical guides for daily action, and when cultivated, they become the unwavering pillars of truly unstoppable, authentic confidence. 1. Wisdom, phronesis, the clarity to see. Wisdom, in the Stoic sense, isn't just about accumulating knowledge. It's the practical intelligence to discern what is good, what is bad, and what is indifferent. It's the ability to see things clearly, objectively, stripping away our biases, emotions, and preconceived notions. This wisdom directly combats the inner critic's distortions. Our inner critic thrives on exaggeration, irrational fears, and skewed perspectives. Wisdom is the light that illuminates these falsehoods. In modern terms, wisdom helps us differentiate between a genuine problem that requires action and an imagined anxiety that simply requires reevaluation. It's the clarity to understand that external validation is an indifferent, not a good, and therefore not something to hinge our self-worth upon. When you cultivate wisdom, you develop an inner compass that guides you towards sound judgment and away from self-deception, giving you a quiet, self-assured confidence rooted in objective reality. You trust your own discernment. There is 2. Courage. Andrea, the will to act despite fear. We've discussed confidence as a muscle. Courage is the fuel for its growth. Stoic courage isn't the absence of fear, but the willingness to act virtuously despite fear. It's facing discomfort, standing up for your values, having difficult conversations, taking calculated risks, and admitting when you're wrong. Think about the modern fears that erode confidence: the fear of public speaking, the fear of rejection, the fear of failure, the fear of judgment. Each time you consciously choose to act in spite of these fears, whether it's pitching an idea, asking for help, or simply expressing an unpopular opinion, you build your courage. These aren't grand, heroic gestures. They are small, consistent acts of bravery in your daily life. Each act reinforces the belief in your own capability, weakening the grip of fear and fortifying your inner resolve. An unstoppable person isn't fearless. They simply refuse to let fear dictate their actions. 3. Temperance, sophrosony, the mastery of self. Temperance, often translated as self-discipline or moderation, is the virtue of mastering your desires, impulses, and reactions. It's about living in alignment with your values, rather than being swept away by fleeting pleasures, destructive habits, or unchecked emotions. This is crucial for building deep confidence, because it fosters self-respect and reliability. When you promise yourself you'll start a new habit and you follow through, that's temperance. When you feel the urge to procrastinate, but choose instead to focus on your task, that's temperance. When you resist the temptation to lash out in anger and instead choose a calm, measured response, that's temperance. Each act of self-mastery is a deposit in your confidence bank. It shows you that you are in control of yourself, that your words and actions are aligned, and that you are a person of integrity. This consistent alignment builds a robust internal sense of worth that no external criticism can dismantle. An unstoppable person is master of their inner domain, not a slave to their impulses. Justice, dikaiosune, the purpose beyond self. Justice, for the Stoics, extended beyond legal definitions. It was about living in harmony with others, contributing to the common good, treating everyone with fairness and benevolence, and recognizing our interconnectedness within the larger human community. This might seem less directly related to individual confidence, but its impact is profound. When your confidence is rooted in justice, it becomes benevolent and powerful, rather than arrogant or self-serving. An ego-driven confidence crumbles under external pressure. But a confidence fueled by a desire to contribute positively, to act with fairness and kindness, is resilient. It grounds your self-worth in something larger than yourself. Knowing that you are striving to be a good person, to act ethically, and to contribute to the well-being of others, provides a deep, unwavering sense of purpose and self-respect. This transcends superficial validation and becomes a source of profound, unshakable inner strength. An unstoppable individual uses their power not just for personal gain, but for the betterment of all, making their confidence both strong and noble. By consciously cultivating these 4 virtues in your daily life, you aren't just becoming a better person. You are systematically building the internal architecture of an unshakable, authentic, and truly unstoppable self. The unstoppable mindset in action. Practical application. So, how do we translate these profound philosophical principles into the hustle and bustle of modern life? How do we embed them into our daily routines to foster that unstoppable confidence? It comes down to consistent, deliberate practice in specific areas. 1. Embrace the present moment and mindful action. Our minds constantly tug us away from the present. We either replay past regrets and perceived failures, feeding the inner critic, or we project anxieties onto an imagined future. Both scenarios steal our power in the now. The Stoics emphasized focusing solely on the task at hand, on the action being taken, and on the virtue being exercised in that moment. When you're working on a task, give it your full, undivided attention. Don't let your mind drift to what-if scenarios or rehash yesterday's mistakes. When you're having a conversation, Be fully present, truly listening. This isn't just about productivity, it's about mental liberation. By anchoring yourself in the present, you cut off the supply lines to both regret and anxiety, allowing you to act with clarity, purpose, and ultimately, greater confidence. Your power is always in the present moment, and by focusing there, you make yourself unstoppable by past failures or future fears. 2. Reframe failure as feedback, not finality. The journey to becoming unstoppable is paved with attempts, not guarantees. Many of us are paralyzed by the fear of failure, seeing it as a definitive statement about our inadequacy. Stoicism offers a radical alternative. Failure is simply feedback. Every mistake or setback is an opportunity to practice virtue, adapt your approach, and learn invaluable lessons. Did a project not go as planned? Instead of spiraling into self-blame, ask, what did I control? What did I do well? What could I have done differently? What virtue can I practice here? Patience, resilience, humility. This isn't about ignoring consequences. It's about transforming them. When you adopt this mindset, failure loses its sting. It ceases to be an enemy and becomes a wise, albeit sometimes harsh, teacher. You become unstoppable because you learn from every stumble, growing stronger and wiser with each experience, rather than being defeated by it. 3. The power of small, consistent wins. The confidence muscle grows not through monumental leaps, but through consistent, small, deliberate actions. Don't wait for a grand opportunity to prove your worth. Start small. Waking up 15 minutes earlier to meditate or plan your day. That's a win. Choosing a healthy snack over an unhealthy craving. That's a win. Completing a small task you've been procrastinating. That's a win. Oh, having that slightly uncomfortable but necessary conversation. That's a monumental win. Each time you follow through on a commitment to yourself, no matter how small, you reinforce your self-trust. You demonstrate to yourself that you are capable, disciplined, and reliable. These small wins accumulate, building momentum and a deep-seated belief in your ability to act and achieve. This incremental accumulation of self-proof is what truly makes you feel and ultimately become unstoppable. Detach from outcome. Attach to effort and intention. This loops back to the dichotomy of control, but emphasizes its active application. We live in a world obsessed with results and metrics. While outcomes are important, fixating on them, especially when they are partially or entirely outside our control, is a recipe for anxiety and insecurity. The Stoic instead focuses on their effort, their intentions, and their virtuous action. When you embark on a task, your primary focus should be on giving your best effort, acting with integrity, and embodying the virtues of diligence and courage. The outcome will be what it will be. If you prepare thoroughly for a presentation, deliver it with clarity and passion, and answer questions thoughtfully, you have acted virtuously. Whether your audience is swayed or not, whether you get the promotion or not, these are externals. Your confidence comes from knowing you did your best, acted with integrity, and maintained your character. This profound detachment from external outcomes, coupled with unwavering attachment to your internal effort, liberates you from the tyranny of external validation and makes your confidence truly unassailable. The Unstoppable You, a concluding reflection. We began by questioning what it would take to break free from the internal narratives that hold us captive, to unlock the unstoppable power within. We've journeyed through the timeless wisdom of Stoicism, understanding that this power is not a magical gift, but a meticulously cultivated strength. It's built on a foundation of clarity, dichotomy of control, forged in the fires of resilience, premeditatio malorum, and voluntary hardship, grounded in a profound acceptance of reality, amor fati, and fortified by the unwavering pillars of virtue, wisdom, courage, temperance, justice. This isn't about becoming immune to challenge or eradicating all fear. It's about radically shifting your relationship with challenge and fear. It's about understanding that true power doesn't come from dictating external events, but from mastering your internal world, your judgments, your reactions, your choices. When you commit to this path, when you diligently practice these principles in your daily life, you stop being a passenger in your own narrative and become the conscious, unwavering author of your destiny. Remember the words of Epictetus: "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This isn't merely a piece of advice. It's the profound blueprint for becoming unstoppable. Your circumstances do not define you. Your response does. Your external world does not determine your confidence. Your internal resolve does. The power is within you, waiting to be fully awakened and expressed. The journey to becoming unstoppable is not a destination, but a continuous practice of self-mastery, integrity, and radical acceptance. It's a commitment to showing up as your best self every single day, no matter what life throws your way. So, the question is not if you possess this power, but rather, are you ready to stop running from your own potential and start living it instead? Are you ready to embrace the Stoic path and become the truly unstoppable force you were always meant to be? If this video has resonated with you, I invite you to delve deeper into these practices. Like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear this message, and leave a comment below sharing one Stoic principle you plan to implement today. Your engagement helps this community grow and helps us all on our shared journey to live a life of greater purpose, resilience, and unshakable confidence. Thank you for watching.